All right, folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy, and you're watching Alpha Investments. It's a little hot and it's kind of a little sweaty here in Florida, but today we just need to go over some major updates and changes regarding myself, my Patreon, the YouTube channel, and the Magic Market. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. I apologize, I'm all hot and sweaty, but you know what? I need to take a break and talk to you all. I'm trying to get this video out. Hopefully you guys watch it August 1st, 2024. So first major announcement to here is moving forward. We are now officially converting from draft to play boxes for the Rudy Empire. So we're slowly going to be phasing out the $91 draft boxes. So as of now, we've officially launched, I know most of you probably already heard this, but we officially launched $116 for all Magic play boxes moving forward, period, full stop. No hidden fees, no extra shipping, no extra handling. I cover your PayPal fee, all that crap. It's $116 to your door. And before everybody gets all dramatic, yes, that includes the rip-off collapsed Karlov Manor. Yes, that includes Outlaws Thunder Junction, $116 shipped. And of course, yes, I know I'm going to get blown up with messages. That does include Bloomborough play boxes are $116 shipped. Yes, I'm aware the demand on these things is very, very high. And yes, it doesn't fit the narrative of some people who cares? But essentially, Bloomborough plays. So you're essentially, if you want a box, it's $30 off market price per box. Same thing with Thunder Junction. I think you're probably about $25 off per market. So you can buy a whole case of Outlaws of Thunder Junction play every month moving forward, and you can get $150 off market price if that's what you're interested in. So some people, that's a big deal. Some of you all never buy Magic play boxes. Some of you all buy it every month. That's your personal thing. I don't care either way. I just want to let you all be aware. Moving forward, we officially have onboarded Magic play boxes, and the flat price is $116 for all play boxes, period, indefinitely, shipped to your door, and that's it. So I want to make that very clear. Right now, for the first month, because the demand is so high, I have the Bloomborough on a little bit of a limit, so you can get as many if you want 6 Thunder Junction or Karlov or whatever. Bloomborough, the first few weeks here, we're going to do limit 1 if you want that particular, so you can get, 1 Karlov, 4 Thunder Junction, and, 1 Bloomborough, because the demand is just too high. I'll get blown out at all my inventory. So we got to, by next month though, we should be able to raise the limit and let you guys buy as much as you want up to the 6 box. If you want a sealed case every month, that's fine. So that's the first thing. Next, as far as draft boxes go, we are still selling draft boxes all the way back to Crimson Vow, all the way through to Brothers War, March of the Stepmom, March of the Machine, and yes, Locke's Caverns of Ixalan is still 91 shipped with Wildsville Drain. It's been a bit of a challenge. Oh, and Jumpstart 2022 has been very, very hot still. So is Infinity lately. I've noticed a huge uptick in Infinity sales. Now, I did see some chatter online about Mark Rosewater commenting about uncards and different things, because in the last 7 to 10 days, there's been a huge surge of Infinity draft boxes being sold and a lot of swings there. I thought that was quite interesting. So, yeah, I'm going to try to continue to do the draft boxes for as long as possible, but the amount of Wildsville Drain and Lost Caverns of Ixalan draft boxes that are selling is still completely out of control. You guys have just been relentless animals buying cases of that crap from me nonstop every single day. So that's where it's at. Over the next year, going into 2025, we will be phasing out the draft boxes slowly. Like right now, even like Jumpstart 2022, that thing is pretty much at the end of its life cycle. Boxes are, what, 105 plus tax and TCG Player, what, 115 shipped? We're still selling those for 91 shipped, as all the draft boxes are. And, we're moving probably at least 30, 40 boxes a day of just Jumpstart by itself. Probably 60 boxes a day of Ixalan. It's pretty significant. And, it just shows people do love the product no matter how everybody feels. And, you give, good opportunities. And it's my way of telling you all thank you for supporting me on Patreon. And, it's my, those are courtesy things. And just to kind of, reinforce, those are lost leaders. Those are products sold that are lost. There's no money selling boxes at that price shipped to your door, whether it's play boxes or whatever. There's no money in that. You can open your own LGS, you can sell blue. There's no money in selling play boxes at what I'm doing. These are just courtesy things as my way of saying thanks for watching the channel. We're approaching 10 years, and thanks for supporting me on Patreon. And it's my way of saying thank you. Now, next thing we're going to go into, the demand in these collector boxes and everything going on. Since we're in the middle of 2024, the collector box market continues to be very strong, very bullish. I'm still trying to figure out how to handle that long term. I do keep positions of collector boxes of pretty much every collector box ever made. And, some of these prices and swings have been quite faster than I expected. So the theory right now is, as we move forward at the end of this year and the next year, I do want to resume doing more vintage and older box sales and things, because right now I'm just doing them by request when, you guys are private messaging me on Patreon saying, hey, Rudy, can I get a case of 6 collector boxes of, I don't know, Kamigawa for, I'll pay, give me TCG player minus $50 for the whole thing for a case, so it's like instead of $1,200, it's $1,150 or something. What we're doing, we're kind of, a lot of that's been going on, but it hasn't been like a full public regular sale. I feel like some patrons feel like they miss out on that because it's kind of a private one-on-one thing. So I'm working on that. So with that being said, what I've decided to do is we have now created and moved Weiss Schwarz. So moving forward, instead of, because right now, for those of you who aren't aware of the way things work, every Friday is the big once a week sale. Like right now, coming up, actually, hopefully you see this Friday, August 2nd or 1st. Like this Friday coming up, we're having a throwback of Double Masters 2022, 1 draft box and 1 collector box. And instead of going on TCG player and buying 1 of each, whatever TCG player price is, when the sale goes live, we take off like $40. And, you get to buy a little bundle of 1 box of each. You get to re-experience it. It's a nice little fun throwback from a while ago. 2 years? Has it really been 2 years ago? Maybe it's been 2 years ago. Jesus. So Fridays, we have our big sales. Sundays are more for smaller sales. But the problem is, between Sorcery, Flesh and Blood, Weiss, One Piece, Magic, and Pokemon, it's been having a lot more scheduling conflicts lately. So moving forward, what we're going to be doing is Weiss Wednesdays. That's a new thing, starting literally August. So that starting from wherever the next Wednesday is you watch this video, every Wednesday we're going to move all Weiss sales. Every Wednesday is Weiss Wednesday. We have there's going to be a new release Weiss set, maybe once a month. And then where there's not a new release on a Wednesday, I'm going to pick random Weiss sets from the past 5, 6, 7 years, and we're going to have throwback Weiss sales for people to experience older Weiss sets. Simply put, having the Weiss sales on Sunday, it was pushing out a lot of other things for me to do a One Piece sale, or a Pokemon ETB case sale, or maybe a Sword and Shield era Pokemon sale, or like an older Magic draft box sale. I'm having an issue where I haven't, the schedule and slots haven't been working good. So by moving Weiss off Sundays, I think it's going to give a better opportunity so we have more variety for smaller, more exclusive, rare, older items on Sunday nights. Like, I think it would be cool to have like a Sunday night sale where we have like a throwback of like the Khans of Tarkir era. Where like 3 booster boxes. You get 1 box of Khans of Tarkir, 1 box of like Fate Reforged, and 1 box of like Dragons of Tarkir. We add up, I don't know, TCG players 1, 2, 3 pricing of whatever it is, and then let's say the total is $427. We take off like, $30, $40, and you get like $3.99. You can experience like a throwback to an old block of Magic. That's kind of the direction I've been wanting to do for a while, but the schedule and the releases between Flesh and Blood, Sorcery, Weiss, and One Piece, it's nonstop, and I don't see that changing. So finally now, I feel this is a perfect time to do it since we're transitioning and we're bringing on the play boxes finally. I know patrons, you guys, thousands of patrons have been waiting for play boxes, and now we're doing it. And, we already did the Patron post, and on just the first 24 hours, it was a huge success. I mean, the amount of you all buying, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, I had tons of orders for like 4 or 5 Thunder Junction play boxes and like a Bloomborough play box. And people were just like, oh my God, 116 shipped for each box. This is amazing. So I can already tell is going to do very well. And that's going to be the foreseeable plan for the next so many years. We'll see how it goes. And I should be able to maintain that price for a long time unless something stupid happens, like the post office does like 25 price increases and just ruins all of our lives, So, sum up what I said so far. Official play boxes are a thing. 116 flat, Bloomborough, Thunder Junction, including the next sets coming. Every play box period, no up, no down, flat. So you know in advance. You can get up to a case per month, and of course, that's just going to be the thing. We're going to onboard them, we'll deal with it. Next thing, Weiss Wednesdays. Every Wednesday night now, for thousands of you all out there, we're going to be just doing random Weiss sets from the past, unless there's a new release. And that is so we can kind of isolate that, have a set schedule so we better understand when it's coming. Now, Fridays, still going to be the big Magic things. All kinds of throwback Magic sets, old Master sets, Commander Masters, Double Masters, Ultimate Masters. I'm looking in the distance here. We got Masters 25, Ultimate Masters, Iconic Masters. Even a section over there with Modern Masters 2015. We're going to do, we even got a section in the background there with like Conspiracy 2, Battle Bond era. It'll give us more schedule space to kind of rotate and do small sales for me to offer different things. Because the problem is many patrons have been saying, Rudy, can we have more different like older stuff and random things? Even if it's not even like, I'm not even asking, I don't want to unload the Rudy position. Okay. But to offer, like if I have like a good example, if I have 2,000 boxes of a master set, doing a small sale and only allowing only one or a couple boxes and moving like a couple hundred boxes out of 2,000, which is 10% of my position, and allowing a different opportunity and changing it up, I feel that's a good fit. So that's going to be kind of the idea. These sales, when they happen, no, they are not just going to be, they not going to run indefinitely. I'm going to cut them off, when I hit certain levels, not when I'm sold out. So it's going to be kind of like Magic 30. The sale has concluded because I don't want to unload everything. That's kind of the thing. Now, people are going to kind of make whatever they want, just like they did all the time on the internet. But this is kind of the idea. I want to better align the schedule. And like I said, when I talk about selling old Magic, we're thinking maybe one little thing a month. So if you're thinking like every week there's going to be old stuff, you're going to be really disappointed. I'm talking like one little thing a month. And when I say a little thing, I mean like a box or two. Like no big cases, nothing. It's going to be very limited, very small. So if you're planning on buying or like signing up for Rudy's Patron to buy a lot of Magic boxes or old stuff, I don't recommend it because you're going to be disappointed, because I'm not going to be taking old OG Dominaria or old Rivals of Ixalan or old, I don't know, Fate Reforged or Eldritch Moon. I'm not going to be running sales and blowing it out and offering cases of big. It's going to be very low quantities to let people just try it out and get a box or two. So I want to make that very clear. So if you are a store or a major investor looking to get big quantities, these, even when I do like the once a month older vintage product, it's going to be by a small quantity to not allow large volume to sell. So I hope that makes sense. So same thing with Pokemon. Now let's move to the conversation. Same thing with Pokemon. All I've been doing in the last like 90 days is when patrons and you all private message me saying, Rudy, I want to get a case of, I don't even know, Evolving Skies, or a case of, Chilling Rain's been actually the two most popular for older stuff has been Chilling Rain and Fusion Strike are the most common things that get asked. Now, in the last 10 days, I haven't really been getting messages on Sword and Shield because Sword and Shield Pokemon era has been flat now, stopped going up, and all the money is starting to go to Scarlet Violet. The Scarlet Violet era is starting to kind of awaken finally. And actually the last 7 days, most messages have been asking to buy Twilight Masquerade. That has been, I made another video on that. And, I sold maybe multiple cases to maybe about 8 to 10 patrons now. So maybe a couple hundred boxes like that. Obviously, I'm very clear about what I do. I try to hold 1,000 to 3,000 boxes of every Pokemon booster box set after the initial. Because, again, every Pokemon set comes out. I offer it. I talk about it to you all. I tell you all it's coming. I offer a sale to patrons. We do some box openings sometimes. And then whatever doesn't sell, which hopefully, I over order and I keep a certain portion, it just gets moved and it sits. It's been the same business model now for 9 years. Nothing's really changing. Now, of course, as with all new release, like for example, Pokemon Shrouded Fate Fable's coming up here in the next week or two, right? And I can tell you right now, everyone's negative on it. I ordered, like 25 pallets of cases of ETBs. So I should have like 4,000 ETBs of it. Do I think it's going to sell out? Probably not. Actually, let me change that. No, it's not going to sell out. Is that a big deal? Am I going to get stuck with heavy bags of Shrouded? I kind of hope so. That's kind of the idea. Whatever the price is, if they're $40 an ETB, we'll knock the price down into the 30s and, that's shipped to your door. And yeah, we'll move a lot of cases, but the idea with all this stuff is to offer it at release, and then after that, it gets put aside. And friendly reminder to those of you who are new to this industry, remember the key to this whole market and the card world and everything is getting in early and understanding the way things work, okay? Remember, at new releases, everyone online is pretty much an idiot. Everyone says usually things suck, it's all garbage, Scarlet Violet's the end, it's the same old dumb BS wheel in the sky that I've heard for 10 years on YouTube. And the key to this stuff is you have to mentally block all that crap out, and you have to make decisions on what you feel is going to happen long term. And if you've done this a long time, you understand time will humble and time will take care of everything if you are patient and you relax and let nature take its course. That's really all you have to do. You don't have to be a very creative, super shady investor. You simply just have to outweight everybody. And that's pretty much my claim to fame. I can just outweight everybody. Although being in my late 30s going into 40s here is a little kind of, getting old. Been on YouTube for, started at like 30 years old on YouTube. I'm going to be 40 soon. Holy crap. But it's one of these things where that's, the card world really is that simple. I don't have to convince you all of anything. My job is to report to you all what's going on out there. Whether you agree or not, I don't really give a shit. But I can tell you, just because faded whatever's coming out and people think it's garbage and everything, that's great. But the more years that go under the belt, the more people's opinion are going to change. And that's just the way it is. I've been through this stuff so many times. And anyways, so to go back to the original point, by moving Weiss Wednesdays, it'll open up Sundays where we can do different things, okay? I want to be able to make more variety and creativity on the schedule with everything. And the problem was between the release schedule, it was just constant new release after new release. And it really didn't give us any time to do like a once a month, like older item. And that's really the goal, is to do a once a month older item. That is the goal. So anyways, as far as the Magic market goes, I think the public is finally starting to accept that, yeah, Wizards of the Coast is not fucking around with the limited secret layers, and everyone's all angry. They're not screwing around, fucking around, when it comes to these collector boxes. Thunder Junction collector boxes, Bloomborough collector boxes, Assassin's Creed collector boxes. Karlov Manor, well, they collapsed, but still, it wasn't overprinted. They're not messing around with overprinting of collector boxes anymore. Now, other items and different things are different conversations. One Piece and Lorcana, right now, the two of those guys are in the hot seat regarding overprinting and going back and reprinting and doing a lot of damage and trying to remove the collectible from collectible card games. One Piece and Lorcana now are taking a lot of heat. Well, we'll talk about that in some other videos. And, well, this comes down to management. We talk about this with every card game, and I will leave you all with a couple final comments here. If the company overprints, they will pay the fucking price. I said it a year ago. I said it 2 years ago. I said it 3 years ago. If you overprint, you will pay the price. You may get away with it for a while, and you may get away with it for many sets and many years, but you will pay the price. Right now, Disney Lorcana and unfortunately One Piece, they are paying the price. And unfortunately, when you don't have good management at leadership, eventually the piper does knock on the door. And that's what it is. You have to make all decisions in business, in collecting, in investing, in anything that's a collectible item. You must plan long-term and make all your decisions based on long-term. And that's the key to everything. Sure, you can do some dumb things. In short-term, it can work out, but long-term, you ain't going to stand the test of time. So that's really what I wanted to say there. We have the market finally accepting that Wizards is not screwing around with reduced print runs and collector boxes. We essentially have the market accepting and money flowing into Scarlet Violet and leaving. Well, maybe not leaving, but not entering Sword and Shield era anymore. We have we have Weiss with a lot of these new sets that have been absolute home runs. Azure Lane came out. They did a reprint second edition of Azure Lane. People still obsessed with it. Okay, now coming up, we got HoloLive, the Summer Swimsuit Edition. People are going to lose their stupid mind with it. It's a couple weeks out this month, I'm sure. And again, we have some of these Weiss sets that have such limited availability. Some of these cards are becoming very, very scarce. Now, of course, we have the big breaking news. You guys saw Rudy's promotional video with Sorcery. You've got the reveal of the box art. You got 24 packs. You got Arthurian Legends, starting to become, with Gen Con announcements and things happening. A lot of updates with the cards where you're seeing kind of attack and defense, or some people are calling power and toughness on sorcery cards. You're seeing a lot of different things coming to surface. And yes, the hype and excitement for sorcery is massive. Just like coming up here with Flesh and Blood, we have Rosetta coming up. And that is actually, there's a lot of chatter about it already. I know Flesh and Blood has their Collector's Week coming up, and people are really waiting to see what's revealed between some print run numbers and, of course, some other exciting reveals that we don't know what Flesh and Blood and LSS is going to reveal with the Collector's Week, but I know that's coming up here any day, or maybe the next week or two, depending when you watch this video. That's really about it. So I guess the biggest use caution I would tell you all right now is, once again, similar to before, but more than ever, be very careful with new releases, and if you're holding sealed Lorcana booster boxes, be extremely cautious. The market is getting very shaky on that. Patrons about a week ago, after I made a video about Lorcana being dumped on their first Amazon dump at $91 a box, and then patrons blew me up again saying, Rudy, they had a second Amazon dump of Into the Inklings whatever the set was. $85 on Amazon, way below distribution costs. So again, be very, very careful on sealed Disney Lorcana and the singles if you are collecting or investing into the Lorcana stuff. I know it's been a meme on this channel because I refused to carry the product. I declined even when I was offered some of it on set 2 and 3, and everybody just memes and says, oh, Rudy can't pump and dump Lorcana. Again, the management of Disney and Ravensburg, I encourage you all, use extreme caution, more now than ever. Now that they're engaging in Amazon dumps, the pre-orders are starting to decline, and there's a supply glut of being reprint of all the previous sets. Please be careful on that. One Piece and Bandai, everybody's been watching it. The One Piece thing is becoming very volatile. We have some of the One Piece sets absolutely dropping like a brick because of being reprinted, and of course, announcing some pretty much overly excessive will reprint in anything into oblivion, and some company decisions overseas with even non-English boxes. There's been a lot of fear and shakeup in One Piece. Again, use extreme caution. Again, One Piece is a product that I sell at release. If they give me a couple hundred boxes, I'll offer it to patrons. I go on TCG Player. If boxes are $150, I'll take off $10-20 a box. So if you buy 2 or 3 boxes, you get, $50-60 off market price, and that's it. That's all I really do. I have maybe like a case of each set for myself, just so I can have some for future box opening and stuff. And I've noticed that there's been crazy price swings on that. Be very careful. I don't know if this is a tipping point for One Piece. It's too soon to know. But be aware, there is some serious price swings and drops happening. So I don't know if it's temporary. I don't know if this is being caused by a lot of supply showing up out of nowhere. I'm not sure what's causing it. You can comment below if you have information. I don't have any details on it, but be careful with that. I don't know if it's temporary or not. So yeah, that's that. So final thing here. Like I said, we do have the big Flesh and Blood event. We got Tampa, Florida, Rosetta coming up. I'm really excited to do some filming, PCG. We're going to have some big promotions and stuff like that, and card grading and box openings and fun stuff. And we are going to try to get all the Flesh and Blood exclusive Rudy promos. We're going to get those slabbed and graded for the Rosetta launch. I know people are very jumping and waiting for updates on that. I don't have any updates yet. Hopefully in the next week or two we get more updates on Rosetta, especially post Collector's Week. So, conclusion here. Upcoming schedule, what everybody can understand. Big changes. Every Wednesday is now Weiss Wednesday. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern for patrons. We're always going to be doing our Weiss Wednesday nights. Fridays are still our big releases for Magic and Pokemon and One Piece, and of course, obviously Flesh and Blood and Sorcery and everything. Sundays are smaller little random throwback things. Once a month, I like to do a little older throwback, but then that also allows us the other Sundays to do just normal newer stuff, but just smaller quantity items. So that'll be a good little change of pace to make the schedule more level. As far as Rosetta goes, we're about 5 weeks away from the big Rosetta, the exclusive promo card reveal that'll be graded with PCG, and sharing all that with you guys with the Flesh and Blood thing and doing Rosetta box openings. I think I still have 1 or 2 Flesh and Blood, I think Misty box openings. We got 1 or 2 left in the queue coming up. Yes, October, we do have September's a new Magic set. The new Pokemon set, I think, is September, October. And of course, October, around the mid-October, we have the big Sorcery launch. And that's pretty much and I can't believe I haven't mentioned to the end of the video. I have finally got together the Magic the Gathering loyalty sale coming up. And that is going to be, after a lot of back and forth, we're going to do more than one loyalty sale. But this one is going to be Baldur's Gate collector boxes. So Commander Legends 2 collector boxes. Same as before. So if you don't think I'm this evil satanic person, you can buy cases of collector boxes. Baldur's Gate, or Commander Legends 2. And what we're going to do is, depending how long you've been a patron, I know Baldur's Gate collector boxes, I think Commander Legends 2 Baldur's Gate collector boxes are like $205 plus tax on TCG Player. So, maybe like $215 shipped for collector's box now, which is, it's almost back to what stores paid. We're going to be running a special sale on that, and depending how long you've been a patron, it'll be like $199 and less. So if you've been a patron a couple years, you're talking maybe $189, $179, $169 a box. If you've been a long-term patron, prices are going to tank down to like $149, $39, $29, $19. So essentially, you can get a case of Commander Legends 2 collector boxes for like, if you're a long-term patron, probably for like $109, maybe $119. So essentially, you can get 6 boxes of that, which would be like $700 off market price. Something absolutely outrageous. So that is coming up here in a couple weeks. It's on the schedule. So if you're a patron on the main page, you can see the schedule of everything. That's about it. I just want to kind of go over these major updates because the play boxes are finally on there. It's a big step forward. It's the first time we've done a major update with that, with the Patreon system for 9 years. So right now, again, if you're a regular $15 a month supporter, you can get still your cheap draft boxes, or you can get the new play boxes, or you can mix and match. The point is, you can get 6 boxes a month. You can pick any variety you want. You send a PayPal payment. I match and verify you're an active patron. I approve it. And then, of course, whatever 6 boxes you want. If you want 6 play boxes, if you want 3 play boxes and 3 old draft boxes, if you just want a bunch of 6, Rudy, give me 6 Ixalan, flipping draft boxes for 91. I just want that. It's like $100-something off the market. Give me 6 Wildsville Drain, $100 off market. If that's all you want, that's fine. Go for it. But yes, everything is finally up and running. It's kind of a big moment. I wanted to share everything going on. And lastly, I just want to thank everybody. It's been a little while. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I've seen a lot of booming bull markets. We've been through the worst 2-year bear market crash with Magic and sealed product through 2022 and 2023 that I've seen in modern card history. And we're still here and still doing very well. And I'm still enjoy talking to you all and making videos. And it's been a very wild journey of just learning and exploring and seeing the future unfold of good things, from the growth and expansion of certain things to the collapse of other brands to some of the new card games with Flesh and Blood and Sorcery now that have just continued to really kind of prove the market wrong, and Flesh and Blood standing the test of time now, going on, is it 5 years, 5 years now? It's really an exciting thing to see the continuing journey of how things unfold in the face of people being negative and not thinking that it's possible, So it's been many years, and I just want to say thanks. There's been so many attempts and controversies and cancel Rudy attempts and kind of ban Rudy attempts over all the years, and there's been I think I had an update. One of my patrons told me he told me there's 860 videos using either my face in the thumbnail or saying something about Rudy. I think he says between 800 and 900 videos on YouTube of people negative Rudy videos. We are approaching almost 1,000 Rudy negative hate videos on YouTube over the last 9 years. It's quite fascinating to see. And it's one of those things where, in the face of constant, free publicity, I guess, it's nice to say that, hey, we're still here. Things have gone really well. There's been tough markets and great markets and good times and bad times. And more than anything, it's been a hell of a journey. It's been wild, everybody. And to have like one of the longest running Patreons in, card in the CCG card world, running, I think we are about 9 years on Patreon now. We're still run like a founder account. My Patreon account's under Founder Series, the original old fee structure and everything. It's a very kind of old school Patreon, and it's been a very big learning experience and a very big eye-opening thing of the future and the things we got right, the things we got wrong, the companies that stood the test of time, the companies that grew, and the companies that are no longer with us anymore. It's been a very humbling, wild ride of learning about other people's decisions, distributors, companies, management, and kind of seeing how everybody navigates life, and seeing the things that have made it and the things that haven't, the card stores that have failed, the people who've copied Rudy's business model and have failed, the people who are still doing it, or the people who thrive on bashing, in the drama kind of thing of when things go wrong, or a Magic product like Carlo Manor comes out and collapses and they ride that train to the dirt, and but then when things go well, they don't want to talk about it. It's been a very fascinating journey to see how things have unfolded in the last 9 years, and I felt this was an important moment after this much time, and then of course just having the periodic once a month videos with you guys where we talk about life and working and jobs and money and finance and investing and the S&P 500 and gold and silver and Bitcoin and collectibles and real estate and just mutual funds. And it's been an interesting journey to see, being on YouTube for a long time. One of the beautiful things about it is you get to see how the story unfolds. You get to see the later chapter, and you get to see, if you're right and if you're wrong. When you're around a long time, you get to kind of see how the story ends. You get to see the end of certain stories. You get to see how some companies fail and how they go out in a blaze of glory. You get to see how some card stores around the country collapse. You get to see how some of your patrons just leave the industry and they never come back to the card world. They're just so jaded on magic, and the overprinting and or the bear market just ruined them, and the leverage, or you're just seeing it, or just giving up, or the direction, or the universe is beyond, or Pokemon going into this new era. And to see Flesh and Blood go to Fab 2.0, to see Weiss go from the pandemic era, huge print runs of certain sets, to now barely even printing anything. To see the ebbs and flows of life, it's a really humbling thing, because some things we get right on this channel and some things we get wrong. Some things we get stupidly right and perfectly accurate, and some things we get wrong in a glorious mistake. And it's interesting to see how time reveals what's right and wrong. And it's just a fun, eye-opening thing, because again, if you make a YouTube channel, you make a bunch of videos, and you disappear from the internet a year later, well, it doesn't really matter. If that person's right or wrong, they're gone. It doesn't mean anything. But, when you start to approach a decade on YouTube like me, I mean, folks, we get to kind of see the conclusion of everything. We get to see that, well, if I had done what Rudy said, or if I had, that was scary, or if I had listened to Rudy and, how bankrupt and how much damage he'd do to my life. It's really an interesting thing, and I hope a lot of people out there have learned a lot. I think that's the key component. Because when you buy all this stuff, and if you go to your LGS and buy everything, you buy from Amazon, you buy from me, you buy from your local card store, it doesn't matter. Some of the things you buy are just going to skyrocket long term. Some of the things you buy are just going to do nothing. And some of the things you buy are going to tank. And that is the normal market. That doesn't make you, super special and Rudy can predict everything. It doesn't make you completely accurate or wrong. It just means the market's doing what the market's supposed to do. And I think we as humans have a difficult time, I think, sometimes accepting that, Lord of the Rings holiday special boxes are fucking $600-700 a box. I mean, I just can't comprehend that. And seeing something like, Assassin's Creed just continue to erode in value down to like 220s, 230s, 240s or something. And, it's fascinating to see the market is just going to do what it's going to do, no matter what my opinion is and your opinion. So that's all I have, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And once again, thanks. And if you like what I do, I communicate and I respond to all my patrons. And if you don't want to spend any money in the card world, or, if you don't believe in that, just, hey, thanks for watching the channel. And at the end of the day, we'll see what happens in the next decade, folks. And it's just an important turning point today. It's the first time in 8, 9, 10 years that we've added, instead of the cheap Rudy draft program, after 8, 9 years, we finally did the play boxes. We've added and shifted. It's kind of an important milestone, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Love you all a long time. Here's to another 5, 10 years, right?